Are you tired of feeling like you have to care about everything? It's exhausting, right? Well, you're not alone. In today's world, we are surrounded by such an environment that tells us we must always be happy, chase endless success, and worry about every little thing. But what if you could free yourself from this constant pressure? What if you could focus your energy only on things that matter to you instead? That's the idea behind the subtle art of not giving a f*** by Mark Manson. This video will break down the 7 key lessons from Manson's best-selling book, showing how learning to care less can lead to a more meaningful life. Ready to stop giving a f*** about the wrong things? Let's get started. In life, it's crucial to understand that not everything deserves your attention. Mark Manson highlights that we all have a limited capacity to care, which means we must choose wisely where to invest our emotional energy. We can't care about everything, so we need to prioritize what we do care about. This life is full of distractions, and giving your fucks to every little thing can leave you overwhelmed and unfulfilled. Imagine trying to keep up with every trend on social media while also worrying about what others think of you. This approach strains your energy and dilutes your focus. Instead, we should identify the few things that truly matter and direct our passion towards those. This could be family, personal growth, or meaningful relationships. When we narrow our focus, we channel our efforts into what genuinely matters in our lives, leading to greater satisfaction and a sense of purpose. Once you recognize that it's impossible to care about everything, especially some Samantha who doesn't want to see you happy, you will feel a sense of freedom that comes with prioritizing what genuinely matters. And so, life becomes less chaotic and more meaningful. Life is full of struggles, but instead of avoiding them, we should embrace them. Mark Manson explains that happiness doesn't come from a life free of problems. It comes from choosing the right problems to solve. Think of an athlete preparing for a marathon. The early mornings, intense training, and physical pain are all part of the process. But the athlete willingly chooses these struggles because they lead to something meaningful: growth, victory, and personal satisfaction. Avoiding struggles, on the other hand, leads to frustration. We all face problems, whether in relationships, work, or personal life. Running away from them doesn't make them disappear. It only delays the inevitable. Manson says that instead of trying to avoid pain, we should focus on finding the right kind of pain, the struggles that will help you grow. For example, starting a new job can be stressful, but pushing through those tough moments leads to learning and success. What's one struggle you wish came with a manual? Comment your how-to below. Let's see what keeps you up the whole night. The lesson here is simple. Life is about solving problems, not avoiding them. Face your struggles, because they're the path to personal growth and fulfillment. Taking responsibility is one of the most empowering lessons from the subtle art of not giving a f***. Responsibility is power. And the more responsibility we take for our own lives, the more control we have over what happens next. This means that when we stop blaming others and start owning our actions, we gain the ability to change our situation. Let's break it down. Imagine someone who constantly blames their bad luck, coworkers, or even family for their failures. This person never moves forward because they're stuck in a mindset where everything is outside their control. But what if we change that mindset? By taking responsibility, they could look at their mistakes, learn from them, and make better decisions next time. This shift in mindset is empowering. Instead of feeling like life is happening to you, you realize that you have the power to respond and grow from any situation. As Manson states, you are not a product of your circumstances, you are a product of your decisions. Regardless of the challenges faced, how one responds can reshape their reality. It's not okay to give Samantha the blame every time. Sometimes, though, it's your very own fault. Also, if you're finding yourself blaming others for everything that goes wrong, it might be time to rethink how much control you have over your life. We covered this in our video on locus of control a few weeks back, which talks about how shifting your mindset can lead to greater control and freedom in your life. Click the top right corner to watch it. This book reminds us that failure isn't just something to avoid. It's a necessary part of getting anywhere in life. Failure is like that awkward friend who shows up uninvited, but somehow ends up being the life of the party. Imagine being a chef trying to create the perfect souffle. The first few attempts, total disasters. But with each flop, the chef learns a little more about how to whip that egg just right. Most of us fear failure so much that we often stay in our comfort zones, which is usually not that comfortable anyway. A lumpy old couch that needs replacing. Comfortable? No, not at all. We're afraid to try new things, worrying that every new trouble will be the end of the world. But the reality is failure is a teacher. Each failure is a chance to grow, learn, and eventually become the best version of yourself. What's something you were afraid to try because you thought you might fail? Are you ready to go for it now? Tell us in the comment box below. Lesson number 5 is saying no to things that don't align with your personal values and creating space for what truly matters. This lesson teaches that rejection isn't something to fear. Rather, it gives you peace of mind. So now before your mind goes crazy, here is why rejection gives us independence. Many of us believe that to be happy, we must accept everything and everyone, often driven by a culture that promotes positivity and affirmation. However, Manson argues that true value comes from the ability to reject what does not serve us. He writes, "To value something, we must reject what is not that something." Rejection is not a negative act by any means. Instead, it is a powerful tool for creating meaning in our lives. By choosing what to accept, individuals carve out their identities and establish their values. When we avoid rejection, we may experience short-term comfort, but this ultimately leads to a lack of direction and purpose. Life becomes empty when one tries to please everyone or accepts everything without discernment. Real joy and fulfillment often come from dedicating time and energy to specific relationships or actions. By rejecting alternatives, we allow ourselves to invest deeply in what truly matters to us. Every no you express gives you the power to say yes to what truly matters to you. We often fall into the trap of seeking certainty in our lives, believing that if we have everything figured out, we'll feel secure and content. However, this certainty can lead to anxiety and missed opportunities. Life is inherently uncertain, or in other words, flexible, and that's perfectly okay. Manson states the more you try to be certain about something, the more uncertain and insecure you will feel. The need to be certain all the time is trapped in our fears. Embracing uncertainty can be liberating. When we accept that we don't have all the answers, we open ourselves up to growth and new experiences. This mindset allows us to be free of judgment, not only towards others, but also towards ourselves. It's natural to fear the unknown, as change can disrupt the comfort zones people have built. Here's a little activity for you if you want to break free from the certainty trap called the Uncertainty Challenge. Begin by identifying an area in your life where you have overly focused on finding the perfect answer. This could be a career decision, a personal relationship, or a creative project. Once you've pinpointed the area, set aside 15 minutes to reflect on the following questions. What are the possible outcomes, both good and bad? What have I learned from past experiences of uncertainty? Next, write down at least 3 potential actions you could take, even if they come with risks. Avoid overthinking the results, just jot them down. For example, if you're considering a new job, your actions could include updating your resume, reaching out to a mentor, or applying for positions that interest you. Finally, promise yourself to perform one of the actions within the next week, regardless of how uncertain it feels. Embrace the discomfort that comes with uncertainty, knowing that growth often lies just outside of your comfort zone. One of the final lessons we're going to talk about in this video is death. Death is a topic many avoid, yet it serves as a powerful reminder to focus on what truly matters. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***, Mark Manson emphasizes that reflecting on our mortality can clarify our priorities. He writes, "You are going to die, and that's the most important thing about you." This truth is enough for us to reconsider why, where, and how we should spend our time and energy. When faced with the reality of life's end, superficial concerns fade away. We often find ourselves wasting our time on trivial matters, forgetting to cherish the relationships and experiences we have at the moment. For example, you might obsess over the latest fashion trends, only to realize that these things mean little in the grand scheme of life. Instead, you could invest your energy in meaningful connections with loved ones or pursuing passions that genuinely make you happy and feel worthy. Life is finite. We should appreciate the small moments and make choices that align with our core values, creating a purposeful life, rather than giving a f*** about every small thing. And that's a wrap on the subtle art of not giving a f***. Remember that it's all about focusing on what truly matters in life. Don't let any Samantha take charge of your life and keep you in trouble. We hope these insights inspire you to live more authentically and confidently. Now we want to hear from you. What book should we cover next? Maybe you have a favorite self-help book, a novel, or something that changed your perspective on life. Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more engaging content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.